vehicle.
Well guys, it is time to do away with some of this garden. If I can keep my finger out of it. I'll try to draw it up here. He has the 8-in out. And if you'll notice on the back end, he's got the little plow that he used. It kind of looks... can't remember what he called him. Plow, he called that. But he has... it's the single blade plow. I think that's the one we used the other day when we did the potatoes. This ground has gotten so hard. It has not rained in a few days. Not enough to make it soft, so he has decided to use that plow, and he is plowing up where we had the green beans. Bush beans have done well. We have had plenty of bush beans. I'm tired of putting up beans. We still have the bean trellis over at the other house, so over in the other garden. This was the bush beans he planted over here in the big garden. Guess he's lining up a better run. Sorry my hands are shaking, I'm not too steady today. When I told him I was done putting up beans, I didn't want to have any more bush beans, and it's gotten so dry they ain't half putting out anything now, so it's time to get rid of them. I'd get closer where I could see him, but he's kind of taking up the whole space here to do all this. I was afraid to get too close. I wasn't sure which route he was going to take to do all this in. Well, he's still trying to center everything here. As I was saying before I cut my phone off, I was trying to video here, and finger hit the wrong button and turned my videoing off. He's breaking up the area where the bush beans was, which is in between the squash and zucchini and the peanuts. So he's having to be careful not to run over the peanuts or the squash and zucchini plants. I think he said he had some baby pumpkins growing down here on this end, and this where he's coming by now. So we got squash and zucchini and baby pumpkins all growing here together. I don't know what that red thing sticking up is. He's growing a couple of plants of it for seed. I'm not sure what it is though. And then we got a shack here of sweet potatoes. Kind of has a lot of stuff in this one little section. But as he was plowing up the bush beans, he stopped about the time my finger hit the off button. Because the beans he plowed over, and they pulled up, and he noticed that there were beans on the plants. So he took a pause and picked all the beans off the plants, and now he's going back to plowing them up. He said, well, I guess they would have grown a few more. I told him I was done. I was good. We have the bean trellis. We can keep picking beans over there. Both of us is kind of tired. I've only picked these over here once, and that was more than plenty, because it took me an hour or two to pick them, because I can't stoop over very good. And I'd pick a few and then have to stop and sit and realign my head before I could pick another row or pick another section. So he ended up picking these mostly. He called it staring at his shoes time. You know, they're bush beans. They grow on the ground. I like the green bean trellis over there in the other garden. The vines grow up the trellis and you just stand there and you just walk up the aisle and pick all the beans you want to pick. I told them those could stay for a little while longer. But this rain, it hadn't rained. It looks like rain tonight. Yeah, maybe we can get some. Because this ground is hard. Over here where he plowed up with the potatoes, he tried to smooth it back out, and I call it the finger rakes. Use the finger rakes on them. I don't know, I'm sure he's got a fancy name for it, but that's what I call it. And he tried to use those on the ground over here the other day, and it jerked him all over the tractor and jerked the tractor, and he finally said he had to quit. It was too rough. That's why he's got that plow there on his tractor trying to get this broke up, because it's just so hard to ground. You can hear it balling the tractor down a little. I think he just enjoys making circles. He's hoping we can get a little rain. I'd love to have it settle the dust, if nothing else. Rain, good, steady rain. Not a gully washer, but just a good steady rain. Give everything some water. Sweet taters could stand some water. Peanuts could stand the water. We got sorghum and field corn growing behind me here. Well, we're talking about how hard the dirt is. We came back here on the back half of the garden. Looks like he's in for a rough ride. He's breaking up this back here. Not exactly sure what he's going to do with this, but he's been trying to get it braked up for a while. Every time he has a chance, it's either rain or it'd be hard as brick. What you can see him driving by there is I know the tall ones are field corn, and other side of the field corn we have sorghum, but I don't know what this closest to us is. I don't know. I may have to ask. It's jarring him all over the place. How about a little bit of a rough ride there? We've only had this garden going for a couple, 2 or 3 years now, so it's not as in good a shape as the other one we have. We're still trying to make the dirt here softer and work with it. That it's just going to be time consuming, I guess. It's going to take time to get it into the shape that we want it in. My videoing is much to be desired tonight. I know. I'm sorry. What you want to do with that? Flatten it back out. I was going to say, it about jerked you off the tractor at one point. What's growing right here? The closest stuff to us. Oh, okay. Oh. Well, boys, he's calling this done. I know y'all couldn't hear with the tractor running. So, I asked him what he was going to do with that, and he said he's just trying to flatten it back out as much as he could. But I did ask him what this, I thought he said that he planted extra sorghum. So the kind of thing closest to us is sorghum. The really tall stuff is field corn, and on the other side of field corn is a different kind of sorghum. Because he couldn't grow the two sorghums together because there's two different brands, or two different kinds. So he put a few rows of field corn in between the rows of sorghum. That's right. You'll have to listen to this. Yeah, my neighborhood dogs, they like, my neighbor's dogs, they like for me to race them on my side-by-side here. Alright, so this is sorghum. There's 4 rows of sorghum. And there's 4 rows of field corn. And then this is a different kind of sorghum. Oh, here's our figs. I don't see no figs on this one. Hey, they're babies. They're baby. Oh, but this one's got some on it. Oh, yeah. It's got a pretty good growing of figs on this one. It's going to have some good figs on that one. Let's see, is any on this one yet? I'm not seeing any on this one yet. Then we have another little baby one up here. This is the other side. Got the peanuts, got the sweet taters. Green beans are all gone, at least in this garden. We have squash, and zucchini plants and pumpkins. Now, see if I can drive over here. You may not can hear me too well with the roar of this. But this was our compost pile. Brett come over here earlier in the spring, was going to turn it, you know, fix it up, get it ready for use this year. And he found that there was pumpkin plants growing in it. And as you can see, I can see 3 good pumpkins from here. Our daughter had gotten some pumpkins last year, and they painted them with my grandson. Well, when they rotted, we throwed them in the compost pile. That's what you do, right? Rotten stuff goes in the compost pile. Yeah, now we got, I see 4 pumpkins right here from this angle growing in our compost pile. So when the pumpkins quit growing and we pick them, Brett will be able to do something with his compost pile. Yeah. I was gonna say I can see 4 from here. They just come up on their own. Yeah. And there's lots more blooms to go. I see several more blooms in here. There's something in the grass right there. Over on the other side.
Number 6.
So yeah. We didn't get to use this compost pile this year. Oh, it's been used to grow nice pumpkins. But that's kind of what's going on around these parts. Have fun.